Yeah, I think everything looks good. Okay.
Check, make sure Sean's on. Better check, make sure Son was on.
Well, she's on right there.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. It's Monday, May 12th, 2025. It's 9 a.m. We have a full quorum of commissioners here today. If you'll please rise for the pledge of allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us into prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you have granted us here in Mills County. Thank you for this beautiful country that we live in. Thank you for this beautiful county that we're a part of. Bless this meeting to the nourishment and to the people of Mills County. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I know we have several individuals here to speak today, so if you haven't already, please come in to the roll up here, audience individuals. In a minute, Melissa, if you could bring that list up to me, we don't have when you get time, please. Okay, number 2, review and act on minutes of April 28th, 2025. Commissioners, if you'll check the minutes from April the 28th. If there's any corrections that might need to be made. Thank you, Melissa.
Make a motion, the minutes be approved as written.
Okay, motion's been made to approve the minutes of April 28th.
Second.
A second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussions? All those in favor of approving the minutes of April 28th, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous. Number 3, audience with individuals. I'll call Mr. Michael Hall up. I think you want to come up. I introduce Mr. Michael Hall as the incoming chief appraiser. Michael was more or less born and raised here. Parents, grandparents all live around here.
Yes, sir.
Got a good, strong ag background, I know.
Yes, sir.
And we wish you the best luck. I'll turn it to you, Michael.
Look forward to serving the citizens of Mills County. Plan on doing my best. Obviously, I'm new and still got a lot to learn, long road ahead, but looking forward to doing the best job I can and serving the citizens of this fine community to help serve me grow up.
Well, you've got a good group over there. I work with Ms. Friedrich all the time, and we've got a good relationship with the appraisal district. So look forward to working with you a lot, commissioners. Any questions for incoming chief appraiser Hall? Well, good luck to you. Thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you all. Good to see you.
Good seeing you. Okay, no one else, audience individuals, we're gonna take up, we have Ms. McKee is here today. You want to wait till we do refer to the abatements before you speak? Okay, all right. Anyone else want to speak? You need to sign up. Okay, moving on. Review and act on accounts payables. Commissioners, if you look at the accounts payables.
So I have a question. We're gonna be talking about a new printer on action agenda item number 8.
Yes,
It is on page 2 of the payables. Is that? There's a lease copy for the JP. Is that one? Or is that? Is the totals are different?
well, first off, JP Avance had just called me a little bit ago. Her assistant had to go, is out, and she cannot make it to Commissioner's Court. What she submitted to me was the proposed leases in our package a little bit, where there's a deal for 4,000 copies for, I'm going from memory, is it 159 or 149?
Correct. So is this the old lease or this the new lease? This is not the new lease.
As far as I know, that is not. This is the, for the new renewal that we're gonna talk about in a little bit.
saying is if we approve this and haven't approved the other, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. And I don't have an answer.
But if it's the old lease, then we need to approve it, but if it's the new one.
Yes. Like I said, she's planning on being here, but if something's come up, she can't make it right now. I was told when I talked to her that this new proposal is gonna be a little less money than what she was paying.
Okay, so this may be the old
This
one.
may be the older.
Ed, can you hear me?
Yes,
That is the current lease. It's not the new lease.
All I want to know.
okay,
I make a motion that we approve the accounts payable.
okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Williams, approve the accounts payables, a second by Commissioner Sullivan. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the accounts payable, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, passes unanimously. Okay, now the consent agenda. Commissioners, we got lots of, items on the consent agenda. And one correction that we just added, we somehow or another got the wrong month for the, Hamilton EMS, which I think you all have just been provided a copy before commissioners. Yeah. So that is a corrected amount regarding Hamilton EMS.
So on the facilities report,
Yes.
there's nothing, I don't see it in here, but it's, the alarms went off on the elevator last week. Did we know what that was?
Yes, sir. Mr. Burns, you, our facilities manager will come up and give a report on the alarms going off and the elevator shut down last week. You come up the microphone. I think, is it on? The
Yeah,
microphone?
it's on.
Good morning, Mr. Burns.
Good morning. Anytime you shut power off to the elevator, it trips the alarms. So I was with, two of the commissioners and we were looking at some water issues in the bottom of the base and the bottom of the elevator shaft. So we turned the power off.
I said, no, it was all over the scanners and everything. So that alarm did work.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the shut off button worked. I don't know why it kept going, but test run.
Good test run.
It's a good test.
The rain's good, but sometimes we have issues, which we were discussing a little bit about the courthouse. Any other questions on consent agenda, gentlemen? A motion's been made to approve the consent agendas. I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, unanimous. Okay, moving down to number 5, discussion on future abatements for Mills County regarding solar and related matters. And Ms. McKee, would you like to come up and start our morning off? How are you today? Yeah, if you'll come up to the microphone, you got to kind of speak into it, maybe a little high, pull it down some. Good morning.
Good morning. First, I want to thank you all for your transparency and for your dedication. And then I want to congratulate you. In town hall meetings and forums, Mills County residents have expressed a need to keep Mills County pristine in rural heritage, wildlife refuge, hunters retreat, stable in quality of life and land value, and protective of safety and health of the residents. Solar farms threaten the harmony of the community. They threaten land values. They present risks that could affect safety and health. Yet we continue to hear reports that they're contacting landowners seeking leases. We are concerned also about the tax abatements. I and many others oppose these abatements. Mills County struggles financially. We have firefighters who go out and fight 6,000-acre fires, and they're subsidized with barbecues and fish fries and small grants. We have county roads in bad disrepair. And I don't understand how a community partner would not only want to bring an unwanted facility in, but also request to be absolved of financial responsibility. So I just don't see this in the best interests of Mills County, and I wanted to express that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McKee. We always welcome the public to come talk these meetings. Okay, so we're on number 5, discussion on future abatements from Mills County regarding solar and related matters. We can all throw in our comments. This is just discussion. There's no vote going to be taken. So I've been communicating. I know Mr. Bill Pintack is here, and as I've always said up front, I'm not in favor personally of abatements, but I'm not speaking on behalf of the Commissioners Court in any way. That's just my own opinion, which I've been up front with many individuals in Mills County. I've done a lot of research the last month or two. There's a majority of judges in certain counties that are not doing abatements for solar. They may have done it previously, but they're not doing it anymore. So again, we will see what happens, and I'll let the commissioners make any comments. Don't make any comments one way or the other on this.
Well, I think the reason that we put this on there for future abatements is that, are we saying abatements for all abatements? Are we saying solar? Are we saying wind? Or, because, I mean, you know, there's certain things that we have to do if we're gonna do abatements.
Well,
So that's the only thing is, are we taking all abatements off the table, or?
the only thing I know going on is 2 different companies on proposed solar sites. That's all I know going on right now. Which is Exelio and Red River Clean Energy.
I mean, because the last commissioner's report, we talked about it, and the reason we don't need agenda item number 6 if we're not gonna do agenda item number 5.
Well, agenda item number 6 deals with about hiring an attorney, which I think would still be good in case we have any questions about just the legality if this form comes in. I don't see any problem, and if we don't use them, we don't pay them. But I think it's good to have this guy on retainer since he has done things for Mills County in the past. Commissioners, any comments on that?
Without legal counsel, I don't want to say anything because I know just enough about it to be dangerous. I think everybody else is in the same boat. We have not dealt with solar before. I would assume that solar follows the same guidelines as wind, but I don't know that. The other thing is, in my precinct, where this is not in precinct 3, but you've also got Mullen ISD in there that could benefit hugely. But there's something called the 313 with the schools now that used to, they could do their own abatements regardless of what the county did. I think that's out, but that's something that a legal person would need to tell me to make me make a final decision one way or the other. So I think, and it's not that we're having any problems, I think we need some type of legal counsel representation, because I can promise you the folks that we're dealing with have legal representation. So I think we need that just to cover our hindsight. And so that without that, I'm not even willing to say one thing or another on this.
To do an abatement or not do an abatement.
Exactly.
I agree with that. I'm not gonna say whether yes or no, because until we get some kind of legal representation to cover us.
Cause I know, the guy that has been contacted has not been hired, was very beneficial on the wind turbine started side of the bill. And there is a clause, I'm saying Mr. Penpack said, and there is a clause. If the county uses them and you do go that direction, no different than, the subdevelopments, they will be required to pay for your legal representation anyway. So it's not gonna cost the county.
Well, the abatements have brought in a lot of money to the county. As of right now, from the appraisal district, they brought in over $7 million on levy taxes. So,
Just on when.
well, yeah, that's the abatements. Well, no, because McCaslin Farms is in there too.
Farms in there.
So that McCaslin Farms was abated as an industry. And then there's, again, I haven't got all my figures yet, but we're still working on some of the figures, but there's, when Judge Falk was here, we got the abatements were done during that time, and we got the courthouse redone. We got the LEC, community center, and the EMS. All public buildings that we have built off of that. And this year, I know FEMA is involved in that, but this year, material required only is $700,000 is what we've got budgeted. The actual, what we started before the abatements come in was pretty much zero. 2013 and 2014 and 15, we spent less than $10,000 for material.
On road material.
On road material. And so now we're spending over $100,000 every year on road material. We never had that before.
Well, the question is whether or not they would have come, whether they give them abatement or not. Back when that was done, that was kind of the norm throughout most of the counties, but my research is showing that most counties are not doing that. The majority on abatements right now on solar, the ones I visited with. I welcome commissioners check with other commissioners, other counties and judges too. So, again, I've never spoke on behalf of the court in this matter anyway. It's just my own opinion. Any other comments? Yes, Mr. Bell.
I signed up to speak, and I.
Yes, sir. You come up here, this part of your deal with Penpack.
Yes, sir. So I'm Bill Pentack. I'm with, working with Red River Clean Energy. And I first want to say, and this McKee, I've been told what a nice person you are. So I just want you to know, thank you for that. And tell you for the What Is Worth department, we're nice too, and plan to be nice in this process. And I want to say there are two solar farms that have applied or are working to develop and build an operating solar plant in the county. Just so that you know which one we represent, the one that Red River Clean Energy is doing is in the far northwest part of the county, right on the border between Mills County and Brown County. And the reason that that's important is because Red River Clean Energy has strategically sited this project away from residences in a remote area so that it will have minimal impacts. But this came at a cost for them. There are costs that Red River Clean Energy has that regular solar projects don't have. And in this particular case, it's having to remove the unexploded ordnance because this is the site of the old Kent Bowie site. And so, we're asking the county at some point to help partner with us to do something for Mills County that's good for Mills County. which is to get as much of this ordinance as we can for this project out of the ground. Why have an abatement? What does an abatement do? Some people will argue that abatement means less tax revenues. I would say that it actually means more tax revenues because it's a powerful tool in your arsenal to attract new taxpayers to Mills County. As you know, if this court never in its history from here on forward, never raises taxes, landowners over time will still pay more dollars because the land value appreciates over time. So about the only lever that any commissioner's court has to be able to keep your tax outlay the same is they have to reduce the rates. And how does the county do that? The county does that by getting more taxpayers, but it depends on what kind of taxpayer you get. If a lot of residences were to move in, there would be, our citizens in the Mills County, there would be more taxpayers. But along with more taxpayers, in that situation come tax burdens. So in that situation, you need more fire, more police, more schools, you need more municipal services. The great thing about these solar projects is their net economic impact is so huge because they bring millions and millions of dollars of tax revenues without bringing tax burdens. And I am convinced that Red River will be one of the larger taxpayers in Mills County. And these abatements help to attract industry into Mills County, which will result in more tax revenues for the county, not less tax revenues. I also wanted to say this, that in this situation, you mentioned the land being pristine. Well, it's the old Camp Bowie site, so I don't know how pristine this particular area is, but I will say this, that Red River Clean Energy is proud of the fact that we will be making the land better because of this. And it is coming at the cost of millions and millions of dollars because they have gone out and selected one of the top unexploded ordnance consultants in the United States to come help us do that. So there are a lot of other things that we could say, but I think that pretty much sums it up. I guess the only other thing I might add is the fact that this particular project will help keep the land in this family, for this landowner. It will help him keep it in his family. We've had it for more than 50 years. He wants to hand it down to future generations in his family, and this project will help him do that. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Bill.
Yes, sir. Excuse me, sir. I don't want to knock your head.
Commissioners, any other comments on or discussion on future abatements for Mills County regarding solar?
I agree with everybody else. I mean, I think that we're not a decision making today, but
That's correct.
if we want legal counsel, then number 6, then I think that will help us go into making a decision whether we want abatements or not.
Okay. We have a discussion on this, number 5 item before we move forward. Is that it? Okay. Moving on to number 6, consider an act on legal counsel and related matters. So I've reached out to Jeffrey Allen. He was the one who worked with Mills County back in the wind turbine days. And he said he would represent us and bring it to the court. I feel like it's good to have a wind expert. Mr. Bill Malone's an expert in a lot of topics. And but this would be good for have someone in solar and wind for us, I think, to represent Mills County moving forward and whatever we decide to do.
Has he dealt with solar before?
He has. Yes, he has. So again, I've never personally met him. I've talked on the phone 2 or 3 times, but he did represent Mills County, what,
Correct.
4 or 5 years ago.
He represented us, He
Yeah.
represented us on Pretty Wind Project, Wood Bonnet, Wind, Shift, Logan, whatever that, whatever the name of it is.
Yes, and like Commissioner Porter said, whichever way we go, I feel like we need some legal representation and an expert in this field, just bring questions that might come up. So I'll make a motion. We hire Jeffrey Allen for legal counsel for Mills County. Okay, motion been made by me, a second by Commissioner Porter. Any other discussion? All those in favor of hiring Jeffrey Allen for legal counsel, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous. Moving on, number 7, consider an act on a continuation certificate for Bruce Malloy.
Well, there's a wrong place there with the honeycomb. Okay, we beat there. Right next to that is a new place that opened up. Keep an eye on the driving.
Continuation certificate through Western Surety Company.
I make a motion that we approve the bond for Bruce Malloy.
Motion been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the bond for continuation certificate for Bruce Malloy.
Second.
The second's been made by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the continuation certificate for Bruce Malloy, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, unanimous. Number 8, consider an act on new printer for Justice of the Peace. Commissioners, in your package, again, JP Avance is unavailable to attend. She's planning on being here. I can find that. Robert, can't see yours right there. Read. So I'll make a mistake. Can't find them. So what this is a rental for Mills County JP. What she proposed was the one that has $159 for 4,000. That's 4,000 pages included. And again, that's all the information I have, is what I'm reading here. But that's what JP Avance had told me, wanted $159 for 4,000. So I'll make a motion on this rental. We approve this for the JP's office. Okay, motion been made by me, a second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving a new printer for JP office, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, number 8. All my notes here. Discussion of budget goals and calendar for 25-26 fiscal year and related matters. So commissioners, we have a calendar just showing all the proposed dates and whatnot. Starting today, I'm going to be meeting, and this week, meet with all the non-departmental people. And let me find my figures.
So,
And what I was gonna tell you, so I got the figures from I found it. The Mills County Appraisal District gave us their preliminary figures. The preliminary figures are $809 million for Mills County and Road and Bridge. Now, that is a $23 million increase from last year. But again, I always say, these are not certified numbers. Now, they take 10% off the top, that's what they tell me in the appraisal district. So we're showing an increase due to new homes, valuations going up, etc. Now, what I was wanting to talk to the Commissioner Court about is workshops. I plan on having workshops for all the departments. And we need to check those schedules. If we can start next week sometime, if that would work.
I'll be out at training next week.
Okay. Okay, well, then the week after that, maybe that.
On your calendar here, though, this is last year's dates.
Well, no, we updated the dates, unless we got the wrong calendar there.
May the 13th is not a Monday. That's a Tuesday,
Well-
and then Wednesday the 15th is a Thursday, so this falls on last Tuesday.
I had sent a new calendar out and changed those dates, and we may be on the wrong deal with the package.
No.
I found my calendar. You got your calendar handy, Robert?
No,
There's
actually,
up there.
um,
But we have yeah, May 14th is Wednesday. We may be on the wrong dates. We'll send those out via email.
Well, that's fine. I'm just making sure this is the
Yeah.
right one if we didn't get the wrong one.
Well, was apparently this is showing the 24-25 budget, should be the 25-26 budget. So, my apologies for that. We'll get that out in an email to everybody. But anyway, so next week, Commissioner Williams should be out. But, week after that, we might start looking at workshop dates, correct?
I mean, y'all can have workshops without me. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling.
And
you.
Jed, I'm out the week after Jason.
This, we're gonna have a county treasurer Camel out May 27th that week. So, Treasurer Campbell, what do you propose on this? I mean,
First week of June, like we always do.
okay, so June be okay, what about June the second, week of June 2nd?
Yes.
Commissioner Head's gonna be gone, how many days? A week? Okay,
He's going to conference and
okay. Well, we still got another commissioners court meetings, next commissioners court meeting, we'll get more information and some dates confirmed, that should work with everybody. So, Sheriff, did you have any comments on the budget you want to talk about? You want to come up the microphone here?
Can give you some of the things that are on the doorstep, yes, sir. Morning, Commissioners, again.
Good morning, Sheriff.
So last week, we were fortunate enough to have Motorola back in the office again, and so we talked about jail cameras a little bit before. And just to remind you, that coming up in this budget cycle, the numbers that we're seeing anywhere from 400 to 440,000 for cameras for the jail. Without going into all the specifics about what has to be replaced there and things of that nature, let's just give you an idea of what we're at and where that number is going to be. Now, the good thing about that is that in talking to Motorola last week, they're willing to work with us in any number of ways in coming up with that 440. So in other words, we can do a circumstance like we did with the cameras and all of the vehicles, and we can do that over a certain number of years. So that was one of the questions that certainly we wanted to get resolved pretty quickly. Or are we going to be up against, and we'll call it $500,000. I mean, when you say 420, that's $500,000, which is a large sum of money. So when we think about that, Motorola is more than willing to do that, 2 or 5 or 7, however y'all would want to arrange that when we think about that replacement. But that's basically a full camera replacement, servers and things of that nature to keep that information. And when you say cameras, what I also want to get y'all in your mind when we think about cameras, the lock system that goes along with that camera system. So in other words, every time one of those jail doors, the lock is rolled on that door, that camera system records that information. So when we think about all that, that's camera and lock system when we think about that. Well, we're talking about locks. There's not been a maintenance system on that lock system in that jail since it was put in there. So for 9 years, those things have been working without any kind of maintenance whatsoever. We have corrected that also. So now we're going to have a maintenance person that would be coming by twice a year to look at all that. So in the beginning, certainly we're going to have some expense in some of those that don't roll electronically anymore, just simply because they've not been maintained. So this camera system that we're talking about incorporated within that also will be lock system maintenance, repair, and things of that nature. So that is a horribly large number, but all of that system is at its end of life. So there will be a majority of that will be replaced as far as cameras are concerned. All of it will be replaced as far as the device that we use to keep that information.
And Sheriff, you mentioned, or the chief did pull the dispatch console is supposed to be coming. I think I heard it was maybe the next month. The new one should be.
Yes.
We got a grant through the COG.
That is coming very shortly.
Good.
60, 90 days, we don't have it in operation.
Okay.
So if I understand correctly, that thing has to go to its destination. It is all put together. It is checked, then it is taken apart, and then it comes here and then it's put back together again. So it's assembled on an offsite where it's checked to make sure that all the parts are there, everything works as it's supposed to. And then it comes here and is reassembled and everything should work correctly. Okay, we are looking forward to that.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, any other comments or questions? Anything on that? Sheriff, thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good day.
I know a lot of stuff has been mentioned throughout the last 6 months to hear of expenses that everybody's going. So that office is gonna be a really big budget. I gotta figure.
Okay.
Or is that a lot of budget?
Okay, Number 10, discussion on the courthouse flooding and related matters. So, we love the rain, right, Mr. Burns? And, the only problem, we got a little seepage again in the courthouse. So for the public to know, the good news is on the north side, the commissioners, everybody did a great job on the north side, last year after May 24 floods. We had the two major projects, all those were in great shape. We didn't have any flooding so much over there. However, on the south side of the courthouse, by the county attorney's office and the probation office, there's leakage coming in underneath the foundation. Now, when that rain hit, two commissioners were present, Commissioner Parton and Commissioner Sullivan got to see everything. And we've all been looking around the courthouse trying to see what's the best way to rectify the situation. And, we are talking about digging some of this area out, and I'll turn over to the commissioners on this. Commissioner Parton, you got some comments on this?
I think it'd be better coming from the guy, because they had a guy come up there and talk, and then all we were talking about is some way or the other, excavating the dirt away from the foundation to see where the seepage is, because it's coming through the walls. A lot of it's a drainage problem, but we need to make sure there's not cracks in the wall.
Crack in the wall.
Yeah, I know. Guy's been very, proactive. They put, what do you call those bags? They're called dam bags. They got silicone to soak up the water. So each time it's caught it pretty quick, but we still had some flooding with the carpet previously in the county attorney's office, right, Mr. Malone? Again, go ahead and one other thing before I forget, the senior citizens building, there's a ramp that goes to that building in the back. It's washed out from underneath, which is not that major of a deal, but we do need to look at that sometime too. Mr. Burns, I'll turn over to you, sir.
Okay, so, I contacted Johnny Escobar from Top Cut Lawn Service, and he came out to take a look at the situation, and, he's familiar with this kind of stuff. But I guess, first of all, I need to state what the problem is the moisture barrier broke somewhere along that wall. And there was always a little bit of a leak, but this time it came all the way through. What needs to be addressed is that moisture barrier needs to be repaired. And we need to figure out a way where that downspout in that corner is dumping too much water. It can't handle it all. So we need to find a way to get it to drain out better. So for a mini excavator, it's $125 an hour. And according to the email that I just got this morning, right at 9 o'clock. So, he didn't give me a total price. He will contract this as a service call. That was his proposal. Instead of just giving me a total number, because, I don't know why. That's just the problem. People doesn't know what he's gonna get into.
$125 with an operator.
Yes,
Him doing it.
yes, sir. This will also, he's got a machine that he can cut the side, remove it, and then dig down where we can fix the moisture barrier. Then he will recover it, reside it, and then right along the building, he will put a little fabric down and put the rocks, just like what's outside of the clerk's office over there. That was his proposal on that. Also, that 4-inch drain, he's got a way to trace that out. And tie into that would be one option. So,
Yeah.
And one comment too was suggestion, it sounds good to extend those little concrete slabs and go out from those drains, channel the water further away.
well, yeah, got a couple options. One of them is to extend the drain out so that it's past the edge of the building, which we figured out would be approximately 7 feet. It needs to come out. And then it'll catch that drain there. The other option would be to, go underground. So as soon as you come off that concrete pad, have that drain come off, it will convert over to a 4-inch, and then go straight underground and go and tie into that other one.
Kind of the other one right up here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That mountain's parallel with the sidewalk.
I'm not, that's all.
So I don't remember what year, Kurt, since you're here, do you remember, we redid that wall? And we had the exact same problem, with leaking in that wall in that clerk's office.
That's when they dug in and replaced the moisture barrier.
Correct, but I don't remember what year that was, do you?
2012 maybe.
Yeah. Do you remember who did it? Was it the company that did the building?
No.
It was, we hired somebody.
We
Yeah.
had to do that, it was past the, warranty date on anything. And the moisture barrier, just that give it one.
Yeah, and so, but we only stopped at that corner, guy, so we didn't go around that corner. So,
Judge, you remember how deep you went down on that?
I'm sorry,
You remember how deep you went down? It's like 6 feet or 4 feet.
I think it was like 5 feet.
5 feet.
Yeah,
That foundation is deep down there, down under the windows there. But it was at least 5 feet, guy, to get down to the foundation slab.
but if we're doing that, are we gonna do the treasure side too?
Treasure side needs to be addressed, but that French drain is not working.
Can he trace that drain?
Or nowhere, it's broke,
Go
it's
that-
broke right outside the yard where that stump was
We tried running a camera in that and the pipe is broken and camera wouldn't.
at.
run. That's the way
We
in.
took that stump out of the yard and reattached and hook that drain back up.
We were gonna close on 30, 45 minutes, and we're gonna go to the drain.
Do know that the drain on this southeast end where that grade is, we know that it does reach over there on the corner by the pipe.
Slides together.
It comes out there, so
Is it this way?
it comes this way, but I don't know how far it goes.
Now, funny thing, the other morning when it was raining, that one over here where the drain is, was draining out.
Right.
Vortex not now. That should be the same drain line as what comes from the county treasurer.
Should be.
And it does not. We may have worse problems over here.
So looking through the blueprints, I've gone over every inch of it. There is nothing that has to do with the pipes on this yard at all. There's nothing there. Yes, sir. There's a like a 4-inch sleeve that comes in the bottom of the elevator shaft. And there's a pipe that goes out that sleeve where the sump pump pumps it out. Well, water's coming back in the sleeve. Coming back in the sleeve, and it's coming in hard enough that you can hear it running. If you walk past the elevator and we're having a rain.
Is there water in the sump pump?
So,
Is there water down in that something?
yeah, the first,
But it was coming through that pipe, so going back in the elevator. So
We didn't see that.
no. That was on the first rain that flooded your office. And it's done it before when we've had big floods and it runs back. I thought it was coming out of that lift station. But obviously, Commissioner Sullivan got down there with a flashlight and looked up in it and you saw gravel.
Gravel and a little bit of concrete down over the pipe.
Hmm.
So
it doesn't come out of the sump pump then?
Well,
Or it's
I
below the
could,
sump pump?
it's either below it or whatever. I could not see all the way through it.
we ran a hose down in the bottom of the sump pump. Created it to come on. The funny thing about it is coming out on the upper level of this thing that we fixed. And there's no
Right.
way it should even be coming out that high. I mean, you're talking about a huge difference from the elevator shaft to where it is on that thing, so.
Can he trace that pipe too? I mean, how does his tracer work?
He's got a line like a fish tape would work that has a sensor on the end. And he just runs that line in there and then he goes over the top of it with the tracking device to follow the tape.
Doesn't have a camera on it.
Doesn't have a camera on it, no.
Now, when can he come here? Did you say a time he might be coming?
No, I didn't get a time nailed down, but I can, that's him. He's trying to get a hold of me now, so.
Looks like maybe pipes here, that's where they're going first.
And again, he said he got a little mini excavator and he also, cut the grass out.
He's got a sod cutter.
It's like a side cut.
Yes, to cut that out. And by the way, that sod that's over there now is so thin and so full of other stuff that it's not worth saving. So we would just go in there and dig it out. He would come back behind part of the proposal would be to level that out by the windows, build it up, whatever needs to be done over there, and then resod it. That's where we're at on that right now, but correct. So you want to come in?
What would you be your preference?
What's feet soak or your shower?
Yeah.
We looked at it, we're trying to do something, get it coming, we're coming through the wall.
Yeah,
So let me make sure, he's gonna dig it up, but we have to do the moisture barrier. Is that what
Correct.
you said?
yeah.
Moisture barrier?
Well, we dug up a little over here, then it looks to me like there's an that easy with tar pipe, and make the tar pipe where you can get it to with easy.
That's what I was.
It was over here below some of them one day, it's nothing. Looks like tar.
It looks like tar paper. We go down a little ways.
Looks like they might have had a little bit of tar, but then there's look back the tar paper on the wall.
All I remember is when they redid this one over here, it was black. So I can tell you, I didn't ever go play with it or.
There should be some type nowadays, some type of rubbery substance that might have a little more life. You do it, they put it here against that wall and you get it away from it. I don't know what it is.
I did not ask him if he could do the moisture barrier. He is familiar with that type of work, so I'm going to go ahead and say that he's capable of doing it. I can follow up on that if Commissioner Short wants me to do that.
If we can just get some prices, but excavating the soil over. You're gonna have to do that before you really get the price.
Yeah, the price, it's $125 an hour and he will bill us as a service call. So he didn't give, yes, I'll do this for 10,000, whatever. That's the way he would do it by the hour.
He's out Brown, right?
He's up around.
Okay.
Does he know how many hours it's gonna take to do that?
Or ballpark.
Or a ballpark figure? 5 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours?
I don't think he wants to give that because he doesn't know.
That's, I don't know how long it'd take to dig that. I can find out. I can ask him.
Us to do also dig tests, because I don't know whatever's what.
811, yeah.
That Commissioners,
I'd recommend that we get the tracer and find out what the pipes.
yeah, I think that's a good plan.
And then get dig test out here and start that process. Maybe we.
Yeah, there are some irrigation system in there, which is you can go ahead and count on it getting dug up and torn up. It's just 1-inch PVC line to the sprinkler heads and all of that, but that'll have to be factored in. That's about it. The way the water's been coming in that mechanical room coming in through the foundation, I would venture to guess there is a cavern under this courthouse that's filling up with water. That's just my opinion. But when we get those big rains and all this water, this flat PPO roof up here, and it's pouring out of those scuppers and down the downpipes, water's got to go somewhere. If it isn't draining off like that, it's going under the courthouse. It's coming up through the foundation mechanically. And we know that. We got video of that. So, and the elevator shaft also.
Okay, so you're gonna still be communicating with them and,
I'll go out and talk to them right now. He's trying to call me now. So.
okay, commissioners, any other questions about this flooding?
Thank you.
Right?
Just take care.
Yeah, thanks for all this work on flooding.
All right.
All right, moving on, number 11, consider an act on an interlocal agreement with Mullen. Mr. Dexter Morris, our mayor of Mullen, you're here in court today. Thank you for coming. So this is an interlocal agreement we've done several times, city of friends in Mullen, where we would do $15,000 worth of work. There is an interlocal agreement that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. I'm not going to read. Mr. Barton, you want to kind of give the all this?
Yeah, I think we started this in 2010. Way it states is the county in a struggling situation with another entity can provide up to $15,000 worth of machine hire per year. This past year, we didn't have but $3,800, but that was because we really didn't have the funds to work off of. So basically what we're trying to do is just help the city entity of Mullen out a little bit. I guess in 2023, we did redo the road completely and some partial with some donated labor.
Make sure you want to come up and speak, microphone. That's fine.
Well, thank y'all for doing that. If anybody drove through Mount after we did it, we actually had streets. You know, they used to be, we had several guardrails. And we straightened the street, drainage and culvert is fine. We're looking at what, 3 years now? And our drainage is, we got a little fix in there, but basically it's held up, it's great. The roads are in good condition. They hadn't been for the last 15 years. We appreciate it.
At least by having this, we can go in there without being illegal, I guess you'd say. And at least we can blade the roads. Noticed some more work, but we put in, I think, for 410 on and went ahead and fixed the streets to where we can maintain those streets and at least keep them up in decent shape.
Mom actually Dallas's budget last year for the first time in memory. And I think we have more money this year about this year.
And that was our plan when we started with, continue on from the point we've got done. Hopefully they can look at all of them while it's in better respect. So, but we do have to have the interlocal agreement with the city of Mullen to be able to do this. So it is, I mean, if somebody wants to read it, we can get them a copy.
Well, I'm reading the street names off. This is in Mullen, namely Sixth Street, which connects to County Road 508 and 509, and Sherman Street, which connects to County Road 544 and 509. So again, we're glad to help Mullen out any way we can, so.
Those are even better roads.
Yeah.
You use kind of material on that and blacktop stuff. And, it really helps, because it cuts down dirt and dust and down,
Yes.
makes a huge difference.
And we use the route on them and have some more routes for today when we get a chance, but mainly so this deal is so that we can come back in there and blade our streets and not be doing something that we can't do in the center of the.
Okay, you'll make a
I
motion.
will make a motion that we enter into the interlocal agreement with the city of Marvin.
I'll
For
second.
the year 2025.
Okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Porton to go into interlocal agreement with Mullen. And, it's been seconded by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the interlocal agreement with Mullen, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it unanimously. Okay, Commissioners, requests and reports, number, what was that, 12? Go ahead, Commissioner Sullivan.
Well, we finished blading up on 429, 427, 306, 310. We've done a lot of blading in the county roads while it was wet. Now it's drying up so fast that we're gonna start hauling,
Route.
wrap.
Yeah.
On some of the roads that we are gonna start, using that wrap on. And it's more of the county roads that are a quarter mile or less. That way we don't have to show up every 6 months and blade a road that's just a quarter mile and then head out and do another one. Well, so if we can do that and kind of maintain that for them, that I think that'll work for our precinct anyway. That's
Okay,
what we're doing.
Commissioner Head.
No, we did some blade, well, we did some shredding, 332, 323, and all in that area back toward Moline. And we did some blading back over in there too. We had to do some spot haul and had some washes that needed dressed, and we did that. The Mac is supposed to been, I talked to him the other day, he got it put back together. I'm still working on trying to get the arms for that one belly dump, the only place I can find them. FedEx won't deliver them, apparently they deliver everything else but the arms. So.
We can get them. Brazos, where we got the others.
Chevy looking symbols.
The Brazos trailers, they have.
The Chevy looking symbol deals, the little square with the two wings on it. Well, I mean, cause Brazos had the round ones and stuff like that, is that we just have to replace the whole thing, cause this here has the square with the two wings on it. And the only one I found was come from San Marcos, so I mean.
Are you talking about just the corner?
No, I got the corner, it's the one riser that broke, and remember we fixed it, well, the other day when the tarp ripped it, jerked that sucker and broke it real good, so. We're just gonna replace it and try and get that.
Arm going upside the trailer.
Mhm. I'm having a hard time getting it here. I can find it, get it ordered, but I can't get it here. So, but I may see about, I don't know, get it here somehow.
Where it's coming.
San Marcos.
Is that it?
Yep.
Commissioner Parton.
Then, just been running San Diego 515. Got that completed, doing a little blading, supposed to start hauling, Wednesday, gonna haul probably a couple miles of road over there. Gonna get Scott and do the hauling, so we can keep blading and working it in all at the same time. Did maintainer that was trying to get that money on, and Julio called me and said I had all the reverse gears, I had no problem. they go in and follow in years, but it has a hesitation between 30 years, so. Definitely is supposed to come back down here either today or tomorrow. And see what we got. That family has been down for a year.
Maybe he doesn't use it at all.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, Commissioner Williams.
Blading and hauling, we've been mainly working out on 531 and 536 that was destroyed in last, or 2 Thursdays ago's rain. Working on that. Also did, worked on the backhoe, replaced or redid 3 cylinders on it that was leaking. We did that during the couple of days of rain in there. Got the rock crusher, still haven't used it yet, got to get the patches, so we're gonna try to do some rock crushing next week and all material out of the rat material out of precinct 1 yards, either toward the end of this week or next week. I will be gone next week to conference and to get my rest of my training done. That's on the 21st through the 23rd. Other than that, I guess that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I'll be in and out most of this week. Twins are graduating from high school, so I'm gonna be in and out doing all that graduation stuff.
Congratulations, last one. Okay, number 13, County Judge's Report. We gotta get together, myself and the County Attorney, Mr. Malone's office and the Sheriff's Office. Senate Bill 22 reports are due. We need to get in sometime this week. So I'm pretty tied up today, but how about tomorrow? Y'all contact my office, see if we can find a time we can all get together and work on this report. Louis Coronado will finish up tomorrow. He's got painting to do on the rails and stuff, and that project should be finished tomorrow. And I got a text from, I've been texting Honorable Spiller. There's 24 days left in the regular session. And he has a competitive bill on the calendar for today, which raises the bid limit for counties from $50,000 to $100,000. So we'll see how that goes. And that's all the information news I have.
Yes. For you, supposedly the $5,700 or whatever that we settled with Independent Care or Hendrickson, supposedly now they're billing for the rest of that month. So we need to get on that and see
Okay,
what it's gonna take to get that thing. So,
okay,
in other words, they're saying that was a payment on 82,000.
okay.
Do you know anything about
That's
that?
not what they told us in court, yeah.
That's not what they told us.
That's, we need to get that
Okay.
done.
Okay. All right.
Dale, are you talking about Hendricks?
Yes,
I sent Jet an email on Thursday or Friday and he replied to me. Mary says that it is handled and that we should no longer be getting that bill.
Should be taken care of.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Number 14, adjournment. Anybody ready for adjournment?
I'll make a motion for adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made by Commissioner Head, second by Commissioner Sullivan to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.